in Seattle with the Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks last year went 9-8. Just all together, blah.
Well, it was a send-off for Pete Carroll. You hate that it's 9-8, but you could kind of see it like this is kind of the end of this era.
Yeah.
It kind of moved on.
Yeah, he moves on. Shane Waldron moves on. I mean, a lot of guys move on here. It feels like a new day in Seattle. Yeah. They lose Will Dissly, Evan Brown, Damian Lewis. Bring into town Sam Howell, good old gunslinger himself from Washington, because they brought in the Washington coaching staff, right?
Yep.
They also bring in Laken Tomlinson and Rashawn Jenkins. I'm sure Angel has more on that. And then decent draft, couple big men. Greg has him finishing 7-10 on the year, so not very optimistic for Greg. Angel, I turn it to you. What are we looking forward to the Seattle Seahawks this year?
It's kind of the deeper sleepers in the league. Why is no one talking about Seattle? They have a good roster. When you go over this team and like the roster and the contracts, they paid the right guys. They let go of the right guys. Jamal Adams being one of them. You have a better offensive line. A Geno Smith quarterback who's passable, good weapons. Defense has have Witherspoon. You have a bunch of guys over there. Why is no one talking? Is this like team too boring? Why is no one talking about the Seattle Seahawks in this division? Because they're always tough.
I'll tell you why. Pete Carroll, I don't know how long he was there. Do you know? Top of your head? A long time. But he spent a long time squeezing every bit of sexy out of Seattle.
That's probably why.
This is just not a very sexy team. It hasn't been a very fun team to watch. A lot of just 3-yard runs, and then we'll live for the next series, punt it away. I think we see a much more fun offense. I think we're going to see a little better version of Geno Smith. I think he's going to open up a little more. Yeah. I think they're going to throw the ball a little more. I think we're going to see a good year. They drafted, as you remember, in this run-heavy offense, a first-round receiver last year, Jackson Smith-Njigba. We hardly saw him. I think we're going to see these weapons now used the way that they maybe should be used. Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun year in Seattle.
Then Mike McDonald, defensive mastermind. That defense underperformed last year under Pete Carroll, which is weird.
Yeah,
but they have some dogs over there.
Got some dogs, and they brought in some more dogs.
Yeah, Jerome Baker is a very good lineman. That's why honestly a very low.
Miami.
Yeah, and then Julian Love just made his debut on the NFL top 100. Good. Very good safety. They have Witherspoon, top 10 pick. I forget which number DB.
The phenom.
Yeah, and then offensively they're pretty good too. It's just I don't understand. This team is for the NFC. They might be up there. Like
I tell you what, we've been talking about like deep sleeper teams, and we were talking about the Titans in like that context before. Honestly, I'll take the Seahawks over the Titans.
This is more likely.
Yeah, they're a little more. We've seen Geno Smith do it.
Yeah,
he's not great, but he's good, and he's occasionally has a moment late in games.
Yeah,
we saw that last couple of years.
He'll have moments where he's comparable to like a Jared Goff, where like if he has a good offensive line, which they've obviously dealt with and trying to deal with, and he has weapons, which he does have weapons, a good running game. He has the tools to be a good quarterback. We've seen it. We've seen it last year a little bit of a down year. But the new OC was the former OC for the Washington Huskies, a very progressive, aggressive offense. We'll probably see a more effective offense and fun, sexy.
This is a tough division.
Yeah,
even with the Cardinals, like I'm not sure who I'd take over like, Seahawks Cardinals.
But they've always played their division well, though.
Oh, I know everyone wanted to say. This is not Geno Smith's coaching staff.
Yeah,
I wonder if they start to transition out of that. If at some point we're going to see Sam Howell.
Oh my
I actually thought Sam Howell was okay last year in an absolute dumpster fire of situation. I tell you what, I'll take Sam Howell over Will Levis.
I think Sam Howell over Drew Lock. I think Sam Howell over a lot of guys. Yeah.
So
I'll tell you what. Speaking of that, I think it goes further than Geno Smith. I think we might be seeing the JSN ascension over DK. Maybe a little Zach Charbonnet being the guy over Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, it's
new change of the guard.
Nice,
like watch
offensive
out.
weapons over
there.
Yeah. Pete Carroll obviously did end well, but he did draft very well towards the end. I mean, Witherspoon last year.
It was a little confusing sometimes, like the Charbonnet pick.
Right.
Yeah, but now at least this Mike McDonald, new head coach, comes in. Like this roster's already kind of stacked.
There's some pieces for sure,
and it's not really old, except for Lockett, kind of older, but not like a lot of old pieces here.
So we'll keep an eye on the Seahawks, see how that goes. I feel like they're a team that very well could end up as a wild card.
Yeah.
I think they're on wild card watch.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're good enough to win the division. I love the Rams and Niners this year.
Yeah.
But I think they're definitely on wild card watch.
Yeah. This and trying to, in honor of JT, trying to bring that sexy back over there because it's pretty boring over there.
Yeah, it's just not sexy.
It's not sexy.
And they were for a good amount of time. They're just fun to watch.
Because I think they lost all the cool players. Like Marshawn Lynch left, Richard Sherman left, Cam Chancellor left, and it's like Okay, and then you said Russell Wilson, and then the opposite of sexy.